I'm David Gianotten, partner at OMA, leading OMA Asia. Our office here is now about 85 people in Hong Kong and another 20 people in Asia surrounding for projects. Our portfolio is 24 running projects at the moment, 10 completed. One here you see is the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. And we are working from very large master plans, about 4 square kilometer master plans, to very small things like furniture that we did for the Edouard Merlin Gallery. Current projects that are highlights in the portfolio are the Taipei Performing Arts Centre, the already completed CCTV building, but also the Darling Harbour in Sydney and the SSI building in Jakarta. Architecture is something that facilitates how people interact and how people encounter each other. Architects create spaces in which people can perform or can meet or can actually be part of the surrounding culture. And I think it's the obligation of an architect to create a space where people are discovering themselves newly, discovering the surroundings newly, and get interaction with people. And I'm therefore also most interested in making spaces that accommodate meeting and accommodate fun. Architects can be a catalyst in a dialogue between many layers of the society that come together in the physical environment. And I think it's very important for an architect to facilitate the process by injecting ideas, but also by taking the ideas of other people and highlighting them or enlarging them in the overall context. And because of that, come up with a solution that responds to many of the ideas expressed and many of the ideas that are needed to really develop or change a situation. We are much more interested in transformation, while here urbanization very often means kind of taking away in history and completely creating something new. We're very interested in the Asian context to look at what the history is, what the situation on the ground is, and how we can slowly transform it by including the people that already live there or the people that are part of a smaller society that grows extremely quickly. Also, when urbanization is happening, something is left behind, namely the countryside. And you see that especially in Asia at this moment of time, where the urbanization rate is about 30 times the speed that it had when industrialization in Europe and America happened. And also the time frame is, not only the speed is faster, but also the time frame is much shorter. It's only 20-30 years in which it happens. It leaves behind large openings and large gaps in the countryside of societies, smaller societies that were functioning very well, but now because of the people that left, come into a situation with all kinds of question marks. How do we go towards the future? How can we revitalize our environment that is not per se an urban environment, but an environment that is crucial for a country like China? Like the countryside is still crucial for production. It's very crucial for all the food supplies. So we're also very interested as OMA to kind of look at that part of urbanization. So not only what to create new, how to transform parts of a city, but also kind of where the people come from and what the impact there is. Innovation of ideas, innovation of physical environment, and therefore tweaking and the context a lot of people know to create a surprise and therefore a different interaction between people that are actually there is the driver behind our architecture. So we do a lot of research on the program. We do a lot of technical research on for example, in a theater, how kind of it really operates, and therefore how we can innovate in that operation to make it possible to make a stage from 100 meter in length and 40 meter in width and people looking from 3 sides. To be able to do that, you need to have a lot of programmatic knowledge, a lot of technical knowledge, and then to be bold enough to propose innovation, because very often clients don't ask for that innovation, they actually ask for what they already know. And therefore it's not always accepted to do it. But the way of expressing the innovation, the way of explaining it needs to be extremely simple so that they immediately get this, ah yeah, that is what it can give to us. When we started the project, we did a lot of research on what a stock exchange was. It was also moving from a physical stock exchange where trade really happened between people to a digital stock exchange. It was also very important to look at kind of what is the economical factor of this institution in the city then, and what will it be 10 years from now. That growth was kind of similar as the growth from Shenzhen, from like a fisher village just 30 years ago to now 14 million people. So that growth of that stock exchange had to be embodied inside of the building. And what we really were aiming for in the design was kind of to portray to the city that a symbol of economic progression could actually contribute to the urbanization and contribute also to the physical public space and would be approachable. In many countries, these buildings are very locked down, Wall Street even. It's in the heart of Manhattan, but it will be very difficult to come close. And we really wanted this building to be approachable and at the same time still express this economic role it plays. So you're always balancing between what can a business handle and what does the creativeness need. And that balance and that tension is super interesting to me, and also kind of how every people responds to that context. So how different people need more space in the creativity, how other people kind of immediately grabs the business side of an architecture office. And for me, leading a group of people of now more than 80 that really is constantly challenging this balance, challenging the context outside of the office, and at the same time trying to create super innovative buildings and make a business is exciting, and I learn still every day from my staff, and they learn every day from me, and that in the end is kind of progression. I think it's very important when you start studying architecture to not only look at architecture, to not kind of dive into architectural history, to only dive in your design projects, and because of that really focus on what an architect will do in its daily operation. But it is very important to broaden your perspective, because to make good architecture you will have to connect to all kinds of knowledge, all kinds of specialism around, and you have to tie it all together and make it a part of a physical presence in a city. So explore as much as you can. Also many kind of institutions these days kind of teach a style or teach a way of a process. Discover your own. Don't simply listen to your teachers. Kind of really discover what fits well to you and how you can explore and bring that a step further. Because that is in the end what every teacher will recognize as a good project. When you can tell a story that shows your exploration and your growth and learning curve through it. And that's in the end what you need to drive through, because then you will have a lot of fun. And only when you have fun, you will be able to keep up with this profession.